Good day, everyone, especially to our dear Professor Dr. Trixie Cubillas. I am Marian Gay Bunutan, and today we'll get to know on legal issues impacting classroom teaching. Safety for both teachers and students. That is one of the legal issues impacting classroom teaching. Students are far more capable of absorbing information and engaging with their teachers and each other when there's classroom safety, and that is a safe learning environment. To offer a student's learning experience that is safe as possible, it is a must to have a plan. For classroom safety, in a safe classroom, teachers can provide education and guidance, promote positive student behaviors, and prevent negative behaviors and accidents. Yet, many factors impact classroom safety, including physical distractions and obstacles and the actions of adults and children. Teachers can't remove every danger from their classrooms, but they can reduce risk and incidents. These tips can help any teacher create a safer space. 1. Take the time to learn and teach first aid and CPR skills. It only takes a second for a student or colleague to become injured before, during, or after classes while on campus. For example, a student might puncture their hand using a sharp or pointed tool in class or just by falling on a pencil. Students and adults can have heart attacks, aneurysms, choking problems, and other major health events. Health and safety learning requirements for teachers and students vary by school and even state. A school may or may not require teachers to learn how to provide even moderate first aid or cardiopulmonary resuscitation or teach enough of these important skills to students. Additionally, discuss the level of first aid and CPR skills taught to students so that you can adjust your training to fill any gaps. Number 2, organize the academic environment with safety in mind. It's incredibly easy for accidents to happen in messy, cluttered spaces. Some students can also feel anxious or unsafe if the classroom is too small and packed with objects and people. A classroom that isn't open and airy makes it more difficult for students to think clearly and feel energetic. Open up the space to make it as safe as possible. You also need to teach students about the safety reasons for maintaining a clean and organized classroom. These lessons are especially important in early childhood education classes for pre-kindergarten children, since students who learn these habits at a young age are more likely to retain them as they grow up and apply the ideas to other areas of their lives. Number 3, pick teaching methods that keep students always in view. Teachers must watch their students carefully at all times to prevent safety incidents. No matter their age, children are prone to behaviors that can result in unsafe classroom conditions. Students are likely to play with everyday classrooms and other items in ways that can sometimes cause harm to themselves and others. Without careful monitoring by a teacher, older students can get into private discussions that lead to arguments and fights. While you give a lecture, try to make certain that your students know that you're watching their every move. When speaking, always face them. The number 4 is the focus on creating an emotionally safe classroom. Lastly, safety is about more than physical safety. Students at the start of the year, at any age, can feel anxiety and frustration as they settle into a new learning experience. They need to feel safe enough to be open about who they are and what they think. They need to feel like they can share their ideas and ask questions without being bullied or shamed for how they see the world. Students become more open to learning when they feel less emotionally upset and safe. Make it clear at the start of every school year that your classroom is safe for students to speak up in class and come to you when they need guidance. Reinforce this idea throughout the year by verbally reminding them and performing actions that show them that your classroom is safe. As you can see, creating a safe classroom isn't difficult. You merely need to prepare yourself for potentially safety incidents. Keep the classroom environment clear of physical and emotional hazards, and reinforce excellent health and safety habits with yourself, your colleagues, and your students throughout the year. Another legal issues impacting classroom teaching is the plagiarism and copyright issues. Now, what are the difference between plagiarism and copyright infringement? There are many differences between plagiarism and copyright infringement. It can be easy to confuse these concepts. While both plagiarism and copyright infringement can be characterized as the improper use of someone else's work, they are distinctly different improper uses of someone else's work. The biggest difference is that copyright infringement is illegal, while plagiarism is not. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism occurs when a party attempts to pass someone else's work or ideas off as their own without properly giving credit to the original source. Plagiarism, while not against the law, is an ethical construct most commonly enforced by academic institutions. Consequences of academic plagiarism may range from receiving a failing grade all the way to the revocation of a degree. Now let's try this example scenario and plagiarism but not copyright infringement. A student copies a few sentences of a 20-page book illustrating and describing species of birds to use in an article on evolution submitted for her high school newspaper, but fails to provide a citation or footnote explaining that the information came from the book. The student may have committed plagiarism by not properly attributing the information and making it seem like the information originated from the student. However, the student will most likely not be found to have committed copyright infringement because such as inconsequential amount was used in an educational setting in a manner that is unlikely to harm the author's market for the work that they use is likely a fair use. What is copyright infringement? Copyright, at its core, is a set of rights belonging to the creator or owner of a work of authorship that is original and fixed in a tangible medium of expression. These sets of rights automatically vest to someone who creates an original work of authorship like a song, literary work, movie, or photograph. These rights allow a copyright owner to control who, when, where, and how their work is used, such as through the right to reproduce the work, to prepare derivative works, to distribute copies, and to perform and display the work publicly. Copyright infringement occurs when a party takes an action that implicates one or more of the rights listed above without authorization from the copyright owner or an applicable exemption or limitation in the copyright law, such as fair use. There can be significant legal consequences for copyright infringement, including injunctions, monetary damages, and in extreme instance, criminal penalties. Now, this scenario on both plagiarism and copyright infringement. A young writer, hoping to be published, copies line for line a popular wizard book series. The young writer sends the work to her publisher and says she wrote it. This author has committed plagiarism by submitting someone else's work as her own and, in addition, has committed copyright infringement by copying someone else's protected work without permission. Now, so what's the difference between plagiarism and copyright infringement? While it can be difficult to discern the differences between plagiarism and copyright infringement, in short, plagiarism is an ethical violation that occurs most often in academic situations when a party takes credits for work that was not of their own authorship, while copyright infringements occur when a party copies, reproduces, distributes, displays or performs, or makes a derived version of a protected work without permission of the copyright owner or the law. Lastly, legal issues impacting classroom teaching is the paying tuition and other fees. There's nothing more important to parents than securing their children's future. That's why investing in good education has always been their top priority. Why wouldn't they? Not only will education enrich your child's mind, but it also opens doors of opportunities for their personal growth. But while parents want all the best for their children, having quality education can also come with a hefty price tag. With a train law in full speed and the rising inflation rate in the country, the real question is, how much will it cost to send your child to school? A school's tuition fee takes the top spot in your child's education expenses. For public schools, tuition for primary education is waived since it's being subsidized by the government. Thanks to the free tuition law, it has also been extended to state universities and colleges. On the other hand, private schools vary in its fees depending on school type and location. President Rodrigo Duterte signed a law which is a free tuition law that grants students in state universities and colleges, or the SUCs, and local universities and colleges, or the LUCs, and technical vocational institutions free tuition fee. The Republic Act 10931, or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, may seem a bit complicated, but it was rounded up the important things that everyone needs to know. 1. It covers other fees as well. RA 10931 includes library fees, computer fees, laboratory fees, school ID fees, athletic fees, admission fees, development fees, guidance fees, handbook, entrance, registration, medical and dental, cultural, and other similar or related fees. The government will also provide a stipend for poor students. It also establishes a loan program for students who are in need. Number 2, the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, said that it will offer cash grants to medical students in public medical schools, but it is not free for all. The number 3, the free tuition fee only applies to undergraduate students who are taking a bachelor's degree for the first time. This means that those who are going to get their second degree are ineligible. Number 4, the same thing also applies when taking vocational or certificate courses in technical vocational institutions. Students who have a bachelor's degree from a private or public institution, or those who already finished a vocational degree before, are not eligible anymore. 5. A student should finish the degree on the allotted period of time. Failure to do so will mean that you have to pay the fees themselves during the exceeding period of time. I hope you gain insights from the topics I presented. That ends my report, and thanks for watching. God bless everyone.